Today we're introducing the multi-job project tracker, and this allows you to track different jobs in one place. So you can track the panels that you're making for one designer here, along with the bedding for a second designer and a slip cover for the third designer. So everything is in one workbook for you. This is the instruction page. It is the first page in the workbook. It has a lot of details that you'll need to read over. The most important thing is right here in the center. We've allowed you to now insert your own logo, and I will certainly show you how to do that. Well, I'm going to move that one out. So to insert your logo, you go to Insert, Pictures, find your picture on your hard drive, wherever it may be, or your logo, and you just click Insert. And it quickly and effortlessly shows up. You can put it wherever you want to in the top. We've given you plenty of white space. If you want to move it to more tabs, the easiest thing to do is to highlight it, right-click, copy, go to the next page, right-click, paste, and there it is. Resize it, and there you go. So now you have your logo. These logos will also print when we print out onto paper. So jobs in the tracker. Rosemary has put together an example tracker for us so you can see how it works. She's filled out designers, clients, projects, and side marks. Now, all of these columns will transfer to each one of the tabs, so you do not have to retype them. The only thing we did not move any further than the details page was the PO and side mark. All the other three transfer throughout. So on the details page, this is where you can list whether you've had, the quote's been sent, it's been signed, there's been a final measure, work orders created, just those important dates. You can use yes or no answers. You can also put dates in there. Notice that this scrolls. So if you tab or scroll, it moves these columns so that you do not have to search to try and figure out which one of these clients goes with which column. So that's a huge improvement. The next page is materials. Again, everything scrolls for you. This one is a good page. Here's the bed skirt fabric. It tells us when it was ordered, when it was received, and yes, it was inspected. If it had been back ordered, you could note that here, when it was expected to be delivered, and then the date it was received. If you have any defects, reason for defect, the return date, and when you received the replacement, missing shipment items, and whether the designer was notified of the issues. Now, if you notice, we have given you many, many lines, and we suggest that you skip a line, mainly just because it's so much easier to read. But there's also another reason when we get to pricing and yardage page. The next page, process is completed. This just lets you track what's been done and what's not been done for that particular project. This is the page that houses all the yardage information and labor and material cost. So you have 4 fabrics, 2 linings, an inner lining, a blackout lining, trim, and fabric banding yardage. So we've left some space here, or we suggest you skip a line so that you can come back under and in some of these places put information about the fabric itself, so you can note that. We also gave you 2 places past the decimal point so that you can say that's 10.5 yards or 15.25, so that you can easily determine your yardage that way. Total labor cost starts in the green, and then the fabric cost for 1 through 4 fabrics, lining, inner lining, all of those things that you need, hardware. And notice that these numbers do sum up into a total cost for each line horizontally. So any costs you put in that are related to the bed skirt and shams is going to show up on that same line. change orders. Sometimes we have those. Again, here are the products. This particular one needed to have the panels rehemmed. Yes, a change order quote was sent. Yes, it was approved. The item was picked up and it was placed on the schedule, and so forth. And again, you can put in numbers or words. The last page is the vendor's use page. This is the page that we did not transfer all of that information from the jobs in the tracker tab, because you may use the same vendor for several different projects. So we just wanted to be able to list the vendor. You'd be able to list the vendor and that information yourself. One other thing I'm going to show you quickly is one of the things we were asked to do was you to be able to print this on an 8.5 by 11 paper. So if you go to print, each tab will print on 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with your logo at the top. Now, if you notice, this one tab for job details is 16 pages long, or 16 sheets long. That's because we gave you over 100 lines to fill in. So my suggestion is, if you only have the first page of this, then you need to say, I want page 1 to, and then you would need page 5. These 3 will stay the same. The columns after it that actually scrolled through, the ones that weren't printed on the first series, will now be printed on the second series. And there may be a third series. But again, the designer, the client, the product, each time will print. So it can be printed if you choose to do so. You may choose to leave out some pages because you may not need all of those. And you could also print this out as a blank workbook with just your logo at the top and write this information in if you chose to do that. So this is the multi-job project tracker, and it is available on our website on the shop page at www.seamlessworkroom.com. Thank you.